Where is the next growth story for Singapore properties? Watch this video and find out more. To all my private property friends, why do some transformation make more than the others? People always say follow the flow of the government and you'll be safe and can reap healthy rewards within 3 to 5 years. But is it always true? Take for example, J Gateway versus Woodleigh Residences. J Gateway made an average profit of 250,000 over the last 10 years, while Woodleigh Residences made 500,000 over the last 5 years. Why is this so? Let's dive deeper. So in terms of transformation, it is split into 3 phases. First phase, announcement. Second phase, completion. And third phase, infrastructure. Phase 1, the transformation is announced and awareness is raised. So naturally, prices will then slowly increase. Next, it goes into completion phase where people actually see transformation completing. That gives consumers a lot more confidence. Third phase, infrastructure. The government cannot complete an MRT and not build anything around it, am I right? So the next thing will always be infrastructure, and that is the growth story. Let's use the Woodleigh area, the Bidadari estate, as an example. As we can see in this chart, the announcement of North East Line was in 1996. The opening of Woodleigh MRT was in 2011. From the first phase to the second phase, the prices appreciated by an average of 41%. After the completion phase, Woodleigh prices actually went up by 57%. Now, the next phase comes in, which is infrastructure. We see that the announcement of Bidadari estate happened in 2013. The completion of Bidadari estate was done in 2021 and the prices appreciated by 33%. Followed by the completion of Woodleigh Residences and Woodleigh Mall, it continued driving up prices by 22%. In total, after the completion phase, it went up by 112%. On the contrary, why haven't Jurong's prices skyrocketed despite being announced as the second CBD in 2014? Because they are still stuck in the announcement stage. They haven't completed the transformation yet, and that's why they can never go into the infrastructure phase. As compared to Woodleigh, it has already gone through the announcement phase, the completion phase, and the infrastructure phase. So, by applying this concept, we will be able to identify a new growth story, the Thomson East Coast Line. The announcement of the Thomson East Coast Line was in 2014. The completion for the Lentor portion was in 2021, followed by East Coast portion in 2023. Now, after completion, what phase is it? Infrastructure. And that's where the next growth story is happening. So, if you are smart, you will be able to identify where you should be for immediate returns within the next 3 years. Why did the government need to sell properties in Woodlands and Lentor first? Because it will act as a price support for the next few stations such as Upper Thomson, Caldecott, and Bright Hill. These are considered to be RCR properties that may be launched at 2,800 to 3,000 per square foot. Same goes for East Coast. There's a reason why the government chose to launch lands in Katong Park, Tanjong Katong, and Marine Parade first, because this is considered prime East Coast where Singaporean consumers are able to accept $3,000 PSF and above. But don't forget, there are new townships coming up in Siglap as well as Bayshore. What would the government be launching these land prices at, and how much would the developer be selling this at? Likely, with Bayshore having sea views, it will probably also be $3,000 PSF. In order for consumers to accept $3,000 PSF in a non-prime East Coast area, they definitely need to sell out the prime area first so that the consumers will be funneled down to townships like Siglap and Bayshore. The same goes for Orchard area. If you look at the prime district areas, District 9 and 10, you will realize there's a rejuvenation plan. We have Orchard Boulevard and Napier MRT station, and recent land sales are all happening along the TEL line. There are opportunities in the OCR, RCR, as well as CCR region, but just how are you going to be picking your project? I believe by showing you this concept, you will be able to have a very clear direction on how you should be picking your projects. And that's why in this very special video, I am proposing 2 ebooks for my consumers. The first ebook, the Project Selection Framework, a continuation of the entire concept that I have just mentioned, followed by another ebook, Unit Selection Framework, which will guide you on how to choose units to maximize your return. We will highlight key concepts. For example, just by paying $40,000 more, choosing a better unit can actually result in a $250,000 difference in terms of profits. So click on the link below to get your ebooks for free.